Right, I know what you're probably thinking. Rupert, why have you got a blank appraisal sheet? Well, firstly, I know this vehicle really well because I've had it for a long time. And secondly, it's because it's about to go dark here, and I thought I'd whack this video out of the park before it gets too dark to do it, and I'll do the appraisal afterwards. So, what we've got here, I'll take these headphones off me, wrapping around like this, take them off quick, get them comfortable. Right, what we've got here is, we've got a Mercedes Sprinter 2.1. It is the 515. So, what does that mean then? So it's a 5 ton gross vehicle weight. And with that, you'll find a twin wheel configuration, which some American people I've noticed on some YouTube videos call a 4-wheel drive, which in theory it is, but obviously we know that we expect a 4-wheel drive to have drive out of all wheels, AWD. Right, so 515, that's 5 ton, and then it's 150 brake horsepower, so it's got a little bit of poke. It's very quick off the mark, etc. Not that you'd need it. And for what it's been used for, which I'll get to in a second, I can't imagine it's been driven very quick anywhere. So, I suppose where do I start with this one? I suppose we'll start in the front. Right. Well, that'd be a good start if I had the key. Right, we're there. I really don't have to start this video again. Oh, here we go. Right, well, at least we know the central locking works, which, you know, sometimes I do go on about being pretty crucial. There we go. Right, we'll start getting into the side of this van now. Footwell's looking pretty good. What information have we got on here that you can read? Maybe you can pause the video or something and take a look at this if it takes any interest of yours. Blah blah blah. Right, I'm probably getting the seat changed. Haven't got around to doing it yet. You're gonna have a bad back. I mean, for me it's perfect, but that needs switching out. I mean, imagine in our warehouse we've probably got one of these, so by the time you come and find this vehicle, if you do fancy coming and have a look at it, it probably will have been changed, but I do apologise if it hasn't been done. Right, stick that in there, press the clutch. Not a great deal of fuel, not a great deal of fuel at all. Right, there we have startup. We've got a 6-speed manual transmission, no in-cab air conditioning. Well, that's actually because it's got an aftermarket air conditioning unit, which in my opinion is a hell of a lot better, and that's controlled just up here. That's where you control the temperature, and that's where you control the fan speed. Now, that isn't wired up at the minute, but that will be wired up. I know they can be a nightmare, but believe me, the amount of hours that me and my team have spent on these vans, we will have that running in no time at all. So yeah, it's running a dream. I've done a hell of a lot of miles on this one actually. I've probably done 150 miles on it. That was picking it up. Electric windows, electric mirrors, you know the story. They've all got them these days. Underneath, I've had it up in the air. Had it up on the pit. The underneath's like brand new. I'm not even going to show you. I'm just going to tell you. Please take my word for it. It is immaculate. Now, a lot of sprinters, you'll find that with sprinters you get a great combination. You get a reliable engine, and a reliable gearbox, and reliable diff, blah 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 blah. You know, they're a good all-rounder. But the thing that lets a lot of sprinters down is the bodywork. Now, if you have a good look at this van, it's exceptional. Let's face it, it's exceptional. Now, that is because we've done a few things to it. So when it came to us, it was a riot van, a police riot van. So you can imagine just crawling through towns. I mean, I can't imagine how many riots there were in Warwickshire since 2008, which was the year of its manufacture. But that's supposedly what it was introduced to the fleet for. So what we've done is there was a riot guard on here, and it left a bit of damage up top. So we've had that painted, and then we thought, hey, why don't we just give it a full hit? So we've given it a full hit, and it looks bloody good. There's no corrosion whatsoever, not whatsoever around it. The only thing I would probably do to it, had I not been in such a hurry to get it on the net, etc., is probably get the wheels either replaced or changed with some alloys or something like that, because I really think this van deserves it. Right, let's jump into the back of the van. No side step. You could easily install one, but for me, I can easily get in by holding this bar, just jumping straight in. So what sort of tech we got on here? We've got an Eberspacher night eater, controlled there, situated down there. Like anything else that's come off ex-authority, ambulances, fire engines, police service vehicles, nothing works. Predominantly nothing is going to work. That's because they rip all the lights off them and everything else, and then that tends to impact how the rest of the electronics work in the vehicle. One thing that is working at the minute, I think, is the extraction unit, but it's not working terribly well because the auxiliary battery, which is located down there, isn't at a decent rate at the minute. So what I'll do is I'll just come back over here and I'll knock the engine on. Hope it doesn't run out of fuel. Right, there we go. You can see that split charging system coming into action here, giving the auxiliary battery some power, and automatically you can see there it has brightened the lights up. So we've tried the extraction unit now, that's working well. We've got a few speeds here. We've got speed, wait, what's this about? Let's try that. There we go. So knock that off there. Then we've got extraction, speed, intake. I really should have done the appraisal before I did this. But hey, maybe you can work it out a bit better than me. But you've got an extraction unit which takes brings air in, takes air out. You've got one there. It looks like we've got something else here as well. I think there's two tones of lights. There's a speaker system throughout. What else we got right here in the back? That's actually in there is where the aftermarket air conditioning unit is located. I imagine it's Eberspacher. They tend to be when they're ex-authority. There we go. Eberspacher air conditioning system. Engine bay, how's it looking? How's it looking? Looking pretty good. There we have it. Right. Just turn this engine off quick. Two sets of keys. There we go. Shut that like that. Just look how beautiful it is. What a beautiful looking van that is. You don't see many in that colour, and that's actually the colour it came out of the factory in. But yeah, you don't see many in that colour. I do like that a lot. You've got floor tracking here, so if you've got if you want to do a quick conversion on it, or if you want to use it immediately after picking it up, you can take the seats out, put a few more seats in if you wanted to, stick a rock and roll bed in, lock it in on the ground, put a table in, lock it in on the ground, take it out, use it for other things, use it as a day-to-day van, or I mean, if it was me personally, I'd convert it and do a mega job on it. You've got plastic windows here, pretty unbreakable, well, to a certain extent, and you've got those the whole way around. The only thing that hasn't got that is the windscreen, and that's of course why it had the protection unit on the top. Right, I hope I've given you a good idea of what this van's like. As you can see, it's getting a bit dark now, so I'll clock this off. If you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook or drop me a call. I hope you know where to find my number. Type in Kasha Campers to Google and you'll find it easy enough. Right, I'm signing off. Catch you later.